阿弥陀佛 ，Good evening everyone， 大家晚上好或者早上好。那我们就开始诵观音菩萨圣号。We'll start to recite 观世音。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。We'll continue to discuss Sutra in 42 sections. Today is our lesson 24. 那我们继续讨论42章经。今天已经是第24堂课。Say the Shakyamuni Buddha's name. 那我们来宣称释迦牟尼佛的圣号。Homage to our founding teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Homage to our founding teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Homage to our founding teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Homage to the Shila Assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Homage to the Shila Assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Homage to the Shila Assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. 无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。Supreme and wondrous Dharma, subtle and profound, where this encounter even in billions of years. And now I see and hear, accept and uphold it. May I truly understand the Buddha's actual meaning. 上礼拜我们从第17章开始讲起。Last week we started from section 17. The section is title is letting light in and dispelling darkness. 这一章是讲的明来暗谢。我们把这个经文念一次来复习。Let's read the Sutra text as a way to review. Chinese first 佛言：夫见道者，譬如持炬，入明室中，其明即灭，而明独存；学道见地，闻明即灭，而明常存矣。The Buddha said, "Those who see the way are like someone holding a torch who enters a dark room, dispelling the darkness so that only light remains. When we study the way and see the truth, ignorance vanishes and light remains forever." That's the end of the section. 这一章就是这么短，就是佛陀讲说，见道的人呢，譬喻就是像你手里拿着火把，到了暗室里头，那这个暗室就马上就变亮了，对不对？就不再暗了，变亮。那你学到见地，这个真谛，到真理，你如果修行到见到真道的时候，真理的时候，你的无明就灭了。无明灭的话，就只剩下明了，对不对？没有明嘛，就是明。那这个无明呢，我们一般讲的是你不了解了，那个无始的无明，明这个等于就是智慧。So this section, the Buddha said that those who see the way as cultivators, and they see the way. And an analogy is like you are holding a torch and enters a dark room. The darkness will disappear, right? And the room will become bright. So, and when we study the way and see the truth, and ignorance vanishes, and I think the brilliance remains forever. Ignorance is a translation of Wu Ming Chinese. There's no brightness, no radiance. You can see that. It just means dark, right? Then when you can dispel the ignorance, then what you have is that wisdom or brilliance remains. It's a very simple analogy. 这个是上人对这一章的是一个提纲，这显出无明是没有体性的，因为没有体性了，所以一灭就灭了，那一见到无明就灭了。So this is the Master's sort of the sum up for this section, talking about the darkness has no independent existence. Once it vanishes, it's come for good. And similarly, ignorance is just like a darkness. So when we see the way ignorance will vanish. Right?那这个火炬呢，火把就像人的智慧一样，你的智慧就能够破无明。所以你有了无明以后，这个黑暗的房子呢，就变光明了。So the torch represents the wisdom. So when we have wisdom, we can break through ignorance, which represents the darkness room. Right? So when we have wisdom, the dark room will become bright. I think we can skip those over. And that's the end of the section, I think. And next section is section 18. 那下一章是18章，念等本空。This thoughts and other things are basically empty. This section is a difficult one. My Chinese is very difficult to understand. 这章的那个中文是很不容易懂，我们还是把它稍微念一念。So we'll read the text. 佛言无法，念无念念，行无行行，言无言言，修无修修。The Buddha said, "My Dharma is the mindfulness. There's both mindfulness and non-mindfulness. It's the practice. There's both practice and non-practice. It's words that are words and non-words, and cultivation that is cultivation and non-cultivation." This translation I don't think is correct. 这个英文的翻译我上次讲过，这个翻译我觉得不正确。那这个翻译方法就是，因为这边有4组：念无念念，行无行行，言无言言，修无修修。那每一组都是4个字，4个字里头有3个是同一个字，对不对？这个是3个念。3个行，3个言，3个修。So the tricky part of the Chinese is this: you got four sets of characters, and each character has 4 characters. Each set has 4 characters. This is first set, and second set, third, and the fourth. You probably noticed that each set has 4 characters, and there are 3 characters are the same, right? And this one is nian, nian, nian. Only the second character is different. The second character means no, who does not exist. No. So you got wu. Every set has a wu in the second as a second character. 那这个4组里头都是3个同一个字，然后中间第2个字是wu。So it's tricky. That's why it's tricky to understand this. 那这个中文这个的翻译，它是把这个念啊、行啊、言和修的当作是名词，所以它就是念什么念？它是念和没有念的念，所以它就翻译 mindfulness。mindfulness 是念。It's a mindfulness that is both mindfulness and non-mindfulness. 是念和无念。So the translation here treat these characters as a noun. So this nian is mindfulness. So it's mindfulness of mindfulness and non-mindfulness. So this 无念 negate this mindfulness. It's non-mindfulness. So let's say that my Dhamma is the mindfulness that is both mindfulness and non-mindfulness. And similar for the second set, this is practice, both practice and non-practice. And this is words, words that are words and non-words. And finally, cultivation, that is cultivation and non-cultivation. 所以它这个翻译就是说，这是什么念？它有2个，一个是念和无念的念。那行呢，就是行和无形的行。言呢是言和无言的言。修是修和无修的修。这是它的翻译是这样解释的。And there's another way to interpreted。另外，我们可以解释的就是说，它第一个念，第一个字其实是个动词。how to remove this 第一个是动词，所有第一个字都是动词，这个也是动词。那这个言也是动词，修也是动词，不像刚刚它是3个念都是名词，这里的话，第一个念是动词，所以你在念什么？念无念的念，你在想什么？想一个没有想的想。So another way to interpret this is the first character is a verb, and the other 2 characters is a noun. I think we can take this one, probably easier to explain. This yin is speak, and this is words, speech. So you speak, what kind of words? It's wordless words. So this is you say some you say words, right? And what kind of words is no words? 那这个的话，就是说，我们如果拿这个言无言言来解释的话，也许会比较好解释一点。言就是说嘛，你说什么，说什么话，没有话的话，是不是？你说没有话的话，那你念什么？念没有念的念，所以这边就是 mindful of the mindfulness of no mindfulness。这个是第一个念，这个是最后一个念，第3个念是 no mindfulness， 是无念。So if we interpret that way, then this will be mindful of the mindfulness of no mindfulness, and this is to practice the practice of no practice, right? The practice of no practice. 那这个行无行，就是说你修行啊，行什么样的行？没有行的行。那 the third one is to speak the words of no words. Words of no words. 那你第3个就是说，去说什么？没有语言的语言，没有话的话。And the last one is to cultivate the cultivation of non-cultivation. 最后这个还是讲修行啊，修行什么？没有修行的修行。那这个是什么意思 ？So what does it mean? I think we can still take this one. Look at this one. Speak the words or no words. You can interpret that you speak something, but you don't attach to what you are saying. In other words, it means to speak and yet as if not speak. You say something, but to you, you are not saying anything, because what you say, words is no word. You speak anything. You didn't speak anything. So you speak as if you are not speak. Okay? 那这个言无言言是什么？我们来看这个什么意思？你说话没有话的话，那是什么意思？你说的话，但是这个话是没有话。那一个解释就是说，你讲的，但是你不着住在你讲些什么，就等于没有讲一样。就是你说的，但是就像没有说一样。就像你送给人家礼物，你把那个礼物给忘掉了，你不记在心里头，所以你等于没有送给人家。对你而言， 你不牢记在心里头。那同样的，你说的，好比说你劝人家做什么事情，做的好事情，对不对？但是你不记在心里，就像你没有说一样。So the one way to see this easier is like you give something to a person, and yet you forget about it. You don't keep that in your mind. You totally forget about it. So it's as if you didn't give anything to this person, right? Because you don't attach to the gift, the giver, things like this. So it's as if you didn't give anything. And same thing here, you speak something, but you don't attach to what you say. So as if you are not saying anything. For example, if you give someone a good advice, help this person a lot, and yet you don't keep that in your mind, as if you didn't say anything, you didn't help this person at all. So this is what it means. That's why this will be an easier way to understand. 那我这边有第二个，这个就是解释我的法是 mindful 是念，但是好像没有念一样。So my dharma is to be mindful and yet as if not mindful. To practice and yet as if not practice, didn't practice. To speak yet as if didn't speak. To cultivate as if not cultivate. Okay? So this is another way to interpret. 念好像没有念一样，行好像没有行一样，言好像没有言，你没有说，修像没有修一样。那这个接下来就是这一段，就是 then the text continue, the Sutra continue, and then read this. 慧者近耳，迷者远乎？言语道断，非吾所居。察之毫厘，识之虚。Those who understand are near to it. Those who are confused are far away indeed. It's not accessible by the paths of language. It's not hindered by physical objects. If we are off by a hair's breadth, we will lose it in an instant. We'll skip this one first. I want to go to the next page. 我们这个我们等一下再回过头来。这个是上人的解释的，他就是说在念上，就没有一个念，对不对？所以像刚刚那个解释讲法就是说，你念，但是好像没有念一样，你把它忘了，这样念无念念。So this master's commentary explained that the Dharma is not being mindful that we are mindful. So you don't keep in mind that you are mindful. And this is not the right translation. This will be probably more correct. Dharma is having no thought of being mindful. 那我们也谈过这个偶遇大师的解释，他主要解释就是讲这个常念之无念之念，那这念无念念，我那个解释就是根据这个偶遇大师的念，这个无念的念，这是个动词，就是念即无念，就是你念就像没有念一样。So this is Grandmaster Oyi's commentary explanation section. It's talking about you mindful of the mindfulness of no mindfulness. So mindfulness is no mindfulness, not mindfulness. The interpretation I have earlier is followed this. 把这句话特别提出来 ，so just take this from you. 所以念此，故常念此，无念之念。所以有讲的无法是念无念念，对不对？无法是念无念的念，就是根据这样来。So this Oyi, great Master Oyi's interpretation. My Dharma is to be mindful of the mindfulness of no mindfulness, or non-mindfulness. So let's follow that. So let's follow that. 这个是根据他的 This is what we talked earlier. So, 这是我们刚刚讲的那个，所以就那这个行无行行，所以你看上面这边也讲的，修行也不要有执着，对，要和没有修行是一样的。修行就像没有修行一样。So this the Master commentary said that in cultivating, you don't want to have any attachment. It should be the same as not cultivating. Right? When you are cultivating, but it's as if you are not cultivating. So this is what the interpretation is. 那言无言言，也是不要执着这个语言，没有执着你讲的话。So Master's interpretation on the words, don't attach the words. Speak the words on words. 修无修修也是类似的，就你要修而无修，你修就像没有修一样，正果的就像没有正果一样，就是你修道也没有一个是的修道的想法都没有了，没有一些执着。So cultivation, the master said that you cultivate and yet not cultivating. You have some realization of the fruition, but as if you are not realizing anything. So you don't have any thoughts of cultivating the way. There's no attachment. So that's why I interpret that way.那接下来的经文就讲那个慧者见了，迷者远乎。So this is the following Sutra text. Those who understand are near to it. Those who are confused are far away. 这个慧就是明白了，体会了。你如果明白这个道理，就前面讲的那个念无念念，行无行行，言无言言，修无修修，这个道理你明白了，那你就和道很相近了。你如果不明白呢，就离道离得很远。So if you understand this doctrine, this is talking about what we are expanding this mindful as if not mindful, and you You practice as if not practice. You speak as if not speak. You cultivate as if you are not cultivating. You understand that, then you are near the way. If you don't understand, and you are far away from the way. 言语道断 is not acceptable by the path of language. 道究竟是什么样子？言语道断。言语道断的意思就是说，你要讲话都讲不出来了。你把这个道给跳过去的话，就比较容易了解。言语的断，人讲不出话来。这个道加在里头，这个有点拼成4个字，让这个说话的这个路都断了。言语道断，那心行出灭。你心想要想的东西也灭了，没有办法想。心所要想的也没有，说不出来，就是不可言喻，不可心思，不可言喻。So what's the way like? It's not accessible by the path of language. This I think you skip path, just say not accessible by language, because you can express it with words, okay? And so you cannot put it in words. And there's also say the path of the words is cut off, the place of the mind's working cease to be. This is also just means your thoughts. You stop. You can think. You can speak. You can think. This is what way is. You cannot describe it in words. You cannot even think about it. Everything is empty. What the mind wants to think about is gone. 非物所居 is not hindered by physical object. 这物是真如的本体，是所有的生的万象都是真如的本体，也不为物所居，不会被任何东西所给拘束着。Physical matter is true suchness. If you are able to realize this, you'll see everything is true suchness self, and so will not be hindered by anything. 察知好理，识知虚。So if we are off by a hair's breadth, we'll lose it in an instant. 你就修行的方法差了一点点，那很快的你就会丢了，那修行就丢了。If we are off by a hair's breadth, by just a fraction of 1 inch, a very tiny bit, in the way we cultivate, we will lose it in an instant. We immediately lose it and won't be able to find it. So this is where we stopped last time at the end of this section. I want to go back to the without I want to read this this section one more time, so we have to review 把这个经文再念一念，做个复习。 佛言无法，念无念念，行无行行，言无言言，修无修修。这个翻译不好，我想我们不要用这个翻译。This translation is far better. My Dharma is to be mindful of the mindfulness of non-mindfulness, to practice the practice of no practice, to speak the words of no words, to cultivate the cultivation of no cultivation. 那接下来就是这一段我们刚刚的 ，and the following text. 慧者近耳，迷者远步。言语道断，非无所居，察知好理，是之虚。Those who understand are near to it. Those who are confused are far away indeed. It's not accessible by the passive language. It's not hindered by physical objects. If we are off by a hair's breadth, we will lose it in an instant. 所以前面就是前面那4个，念无念念，行无行行，言无言言，修无修修。那如果了解的话，你就离道很近很近的靠近道；你不了解的话，就离道很远。言语道断，这个道本身你没有办法用言语来表示它。非物所居，不为任何东西所拘束着。你修行的时候，如果修的时候察知好理，可是差一点点，那很快就会失掉。Those who understand are near it, understand what we're talking about. Be mindful as if no mindfulness, not mindful. To practice as if not practice. To speak as if not speak, to cultivate as if not cultivate. If you understand that, then you're near to it. This is the way. If you are confused, you are far away. Okay? And the way is not accessible by language, cannot express in words. And it's not hindered by anything. And when we cultivate, we are all by a hair's breadth. We'll lose it in an instant. Okay, so this was the last paragraph. 我想这个和这几句话就和我们讲的三轮体空是同样的道理。I think these teaching are similar to what we say that when you give something, you have to forget about 3 things. Yourself, you are the giver, and the receiver, and the gift. You forget about all those things, then you give as if you're not giving. Okay? And here is the same. You practice as if not practice. 所以我们讲过，就像这个道理，就像那个三轮体空一样。你三轮体空就是说，你把施者忘了，把你自己给忘了；那你把受者对方给忘了，那你给什么东西，你的礼物也忘了。所以你把这个东西给你布施的事情都完全忘了。这里也是一样，你念了，你也把它忘了，就像没有念一样。你行呢，就好像就没有行了。你说法就像没有说法一样，修行就没有修行一样。那三轮体空那边，我想加几句话，就是你给人家东西你要忘了，但是你不要 你受人家的恩惠，人家给你东西，给你好处，你不应该把它忘。Okay. And regarding to the giving, yes, we need to forget about what we give to people. But when we receive gifts or receive help from other people, we should keep in mind instead of forgetting it. Okay? When you give, you help people, you forget about it. But when you receive help from others or benefit from others, we need to keep in mind and be thankful to them, the donor. Okay? 那我们接受到人的好处，我们应该要记得要感恩啊，不要说你说他三轮体空，你把这个也都忘掉了，那你就一点感恩的心都没有。Okay? So we'll just keep going. And next we are start to talk about the section 19. 那下一章19章假真并观，假的和真的呢，就去看它。So contemplate both the false and the true. Let's read the text. 那我们合掌来念经文。佛言：观天地，念非常；观世界，念非常；观灵觉即菩提。如是知识，得到极意。The Buddha said, contemplate heaven and earth and be mindful of their impermanence. Contemplate the world and be mindful of its impermanence. Contemplate the efficacious enlightened nature, is the Bodhi nature. With this awareness, we will quickly attain the way. I believe this is the section. Okay. 那这章就是这么短。观什么？观天地。你在观天地的时候，你要想起来，记得它是无常，非常就是无常。因为你记得这个12章经是第一部传到中国的经，所以这是最早期的翻译。用的名词和我们现在习惯的名词不一样，是非常就是无常。So this talking about when you contemplate the heaven and earth, talking about the earth, the world, be mindful of their impermanence. Okay? And what's explaining about this impermanence? And now we used to use 无常, wu. Here is 非常. And so the first character is different, but the meaning is the same. This is also negate. And just to remind people that the sutra for this section was the first sutra came to China. So it was the oldest sutra, Chinese sutra. And at that time, the translator chose the terms different from what now we used to. Okay, so, but same meaning. 观世界念非常，你观世界呢，也要去想到非常无常。You contemplate the world and be mindful of its impermanence. 观灵觉即菩提，这个我们等一下来解释什么灵明觉性是菩提性。So contemplate the efficacious enlightened nature. It's the body nature, body nature. 你如果能够这样去观呢，你很快就会得到，就会成道。So with this awareness, you can quickly attain the way, because you have accomplishment in your cultivation. 所以就是有三个观，观天地、观世界、观灵觉。观天地世界这个无常，观灵觉是菩提。So here you got contemplation of heaven and earth, contemplation of world. Then you contemplate this enlightened nature, is the body nature. And if you can contemplate that way, then you can have achievement in your cultivation very soon. 上人的这个摘要提纲，就这一章呢，佛陀教我们观一切唯心造，把虚妄去了，存这个实在的。天赋着我们，地载着我们，对凡夫来讲都是常住不坏的，但是并不是常住不坏。它也有新陈代谢，不是常的，是无常。So in this section, this is Master's, like a sum up cap. The Buddha teaches us the principle of everything made from the mind alone. We must cast aside what's false, keep what's true. Heavens cover us, the earth supports us. And if you see from the point of ordinary people, heaven and earth are indestructible, everlasting, right? But in fact, they are not everlasting. They also go through the changes. The old will be taken over by new. They are not permanent. 前面讲说观天地念无常嘛，但是那上人这边就讲这个天地。那一般人会觉得看到这个天地，觉得是不会变的。但实际上，我想我们学佛的人也晓得，这个世界都会坏的。是你没有学佛，你不了解的话，你会认为它是常的。那这一章就告诉我们，或者告诉我们说，它不是常，是无常。So the heaven and earth, the ordinary people will think they are permanent, they are everlasting. But I think as Buddhists we know they are not. The world will decay and eventually will disappear. And this is the teaching that Buddha taught us that the heaven and earth, these things are all impermanent. 上人用这个新陈代谢和我们现在生物上用的新陈代谢意思不是完全一样，但我们习惯讲的新陈代谢都是在生物上的。其实这个原来的意思并不是像我们生物那样讲，它是新和陈啊，陈就是旧的东西啊，新的东西和旧的东西要代替卸掉，卸就是陈，旧的要卸掉，那新的要代替它，就是所以就是讲的这个天地，它有新的东西呢，就会把旧的淘汰掉，这个意思。Just explaining this term in Chinese, because this term usually, I think we use in biology, in medicine. It's even translated into metabolism. But the original meaning doesn't mean that. It means this is new, this is old. So the new will take place. Will take place the old. That's why that's translating that superseding of the old by the new. That's what it means. 那这边就上来呢继续解释为什么天地是无常的。And this is Master's interpretation why heavens and earth are impermanent. 那他解释就是说你看到这个天气寒来暑往，春夏秋冬，这是天，这天气是会改变的。那地呢，这个山河大地都会讲说都会变迁的，对不对？10年河东，10年河西，都会变迁的。So the master said that when you look at the weather, sometimes hot, sometimes cold, and you also have all seasons, right? So it's talking about the heavens, constant, and also the earth, the mountains, rivers can change as well. Right? The river can change course, and we can even have earthquake, things like this. So these are all, they are constantly changing. 河流可以改道，也可以有地震，种种，所以都有变化的。像现在在佛罗里达有那个刮大飓风、刮台风，就是很多地方淹大水，这个都是。So in Florida now it's a hurricane, and that's bound to cause many disasters. In many places has flood, severe flooding. So talking about this impermanence. 所以结论就是说，这些都是有生有灭的，不是真心里的不生灭，所以叫念非常念无常。So these are all changing, created, destroyed, and so that's why they are impermanent. 那接下来就是观世界念非常。And the next one is comment the world, right, for this purpose. 这个世界我们习惯上就讲到这个世界，对不对？但其实呢，世和界是两个不一样的意思。世是我们讲三世嘛，是讲时间的。世是以千里为一，变迁。界呢是界。四方三世，这讲的方位，对，方位为一，就像那个宇宙一样，宇和宙一个是时间，一个是地方，那个世界也是这样，世是讲的时间，界是指的地方，也是生命。This in Chinese, 世界 these two characters. Now we take it as world, but it's not really. Original meaning doesn't mean world. The master is interpreting here. It's in these two characters. One is first character of Shi is talking about time. We say 3 periods of time. It's this character. Then 界的十方的 10 directions. It's talking about the direction, the place. Space, okay? So taken together now we take it as world. Anyway, both time and space subject to creation and destruction to change. Okay? So they are not permanent. 那这个观灵觉即菩提，这个灵觉呢？灵明觉性，就你的觉悟的心，你觉悟的心，那就是一个菩提心。菩提就是觉悟嘛，所以就是觉就是觉悟，菩提心。Contemplate the efficacious enlightened nature. It's the Bodhi nature. Bodhi means awakening, right? So this is awakened nature. And that's why This is just the awakened nature.如是知识得到记忆，像这样子的认识啊，你这样子了解的话，那你很快就会得到成道的意思。So with this understanding, wellness, you quickly attain the way, you quickly get enlightened. 上面就是19章。So the section 19, just finished section 19. And then let's go back to the text. But 把这章念一次。佛言观天地念非常，观世间念非常，观灵觉即菩提。如是知识得到极意。The Buddha said, contemplate heaven and earth and be mindful of their impermanence. Contemplate the world and be mindful of its impermanence. Contemplate the efficacious enlightened nature is the Bodhi nature. With this awareness, we'll quickly attain the way. 主要就是在要念无常、念非常，要看这些东西都是无常的。Okay. 那你这样子就能够得到很快那个观灵觉即菩提。所以这边讲的假和真呢？这个应该就是真的，然后这个天地世界这是假的，所以这是假真并观。So this is you contemplate heavens and earth, contemplate the world, all these things as impermanent. Okay, so these are false, these are all not real, and yet your enlightened nature, this is true, it's a Bodhi nature. So I think that's why here you're talking about contemplating both the false and the true. The first two things are false, and the third one is the true. Okay. <clears throat> 第20章推我本空 Section 20 Realizing that the self is truly empty. 念经文佛言当念身中四大各自有名都无我者我记都无其如幻耳 The Buddha said that we should be mindful of the four elements within the body, though each has a name, none of them is the self. Since the self does not exist, it's like an illusion. 这个讲的推我本空，这等于是个推理，对，你去推理我是空的，就没有我了，没有对空。So the title means that you kind of realize The self is empty, means self doesn't exist. There's no self. 那你要念什么？身中四大，各自有名，都我着。身里头的四大，就地水火风，各自有名，没有一个是我，对不对？都有这名字。那既然没有我呢，我都没有嘛，就说，所以我是不存在的，是像幻化的，就是说我是空的。So you mindful of the four elements is the earth, water, fire, and wind. We'll talk about that later. Think about it, mindful of it. And each has a name. None of them is the self. Since the self does not exist, so self is illusory. This is the book translation. It says, since they are not the self, they are not an illusion. I don't think this is correct. Because here say that 我既都无了 self does not exist. So they are not the self. This is, I don't think this is correct. They are like an illusion. So they, what's they? They're talking about the four elements. But the title is talking about self, right? Talking very clear, it's talking about self. 这个书的翻译是觉得是不正确的，它是用类是指的多数，那指的是等于是四大，那四大是空的、幻的，但是我们这个题目是讲的是自我，对不对？不是说四大。上文在那边解释是讲到身体如幻如化是虚妄不实，他的解释是把都是身体，他后面解释的时候又不是这样子。So this is Master's sum up. What he's talking about is the body. Our body is illusory, and it's not real. In the body. But later on, his interpretation is a bit different. 那我们看看四大。So let's take a look at the four elements. 那我们身体是四大合而成，四大就是地水火风。Our bodies are a combination of the earth, water, fire, and air. 那什么是地大？地大就是身中坚硬的东西，就是属于地大。So what's earth? It's a solid part of body. 那个 bone, muscle, these are 这个地大就像我们的骨头啦、肌肉。这个固体的东西，那水大是湿润的东西，and the moist parts belong to the element water, like our blood, saliva, these things, like the urine. 那这个就是液体的东西，就像我们的血液。口水，甚至尿液，这个都是属于水。温暖性的是属于火大。 The warmth belongs to fire. So we have a body has a temperature. It belongs to fire. 我们身体都有个温度，人是这样子。有的低等动物它是，我们想说是冷血动物，它们身体的温度没有一个常温，是随着和外界的环境一样的温度。那个就谈不到火大。Our body has a constant temperature, but not all the animals are like that. Some lower, like a snail, and some insects. These are snake, frog. They are all actually. They don't have a constant temperature. Their body temperature is the same as the environment. So they probably don't have the animal fat. 那最后风大是我们呼吸啊，风 the air element, breathing or breath. 那这个是我们在应该是印度的哲学的，那佛教里头也用了这个四大。这是地水火风。So these are the earth, water, fire, and air. I think this is like Indian philosophy, and Buddhism also adopted. The question is, how do we relate it to modern day's knowledge, like science? 一个问题就是说，你这个地水火风和我们现在了解的科学，你怎么去解释它？我这边的解释就是说，这个地其实是指的固体，前面我们也讲过，固体。那水呢是液体，火呢讲的是能量，风呢是气体。So I try to interpret it in terms of the modern term, the scientific term. The earth is solid. The atom of water is liquid. Fire is energy. The air is gas. 那我们了解像就拿个水来做个比喻嘛，做个解释。水一般是水是液体，是固体，液体，对不对？你在冷天的时候，它会结冰，就变成固体。那你水去烧开它，它就变成气体，对不对？所以这个固体、液体和气体是个三态，一个东西的三种状态。那我们的一般的物质就是这三态。And so take water as an example. The water ordinarily is a liquid, but when the temperature is lower, it becomes an ice. It's become a solid, and you can boil the water, right? Become vapor, steam. It's a gas state. So the solid, liquid, and gas are the three states of material, ordinary time. Okay. So 所以这固体、液体和气体，就是我们物质的三态，就等于把这个物质都包括在里头。你这个地、水和风就把物质包括里头。那火是什么？火就是我们的能量。能量，所以地、水、风是质量，是质和能。 是我们在物理世界里头讲的质和能都包括在里头。So this solid, liquid, and gas, these are the three states of the material. This is talking about mass. Then we also have energy as fire. And so if you know a bit of physics, the physical world is made of material, mass, and energy, right? So these four things actually can cover the physical world. It has both mass, material, and energy. 所以我们在从这个观点来看的话，这个四大就是把我们这个物质世界都包括在里头了，讲了它的质量，质在那边，然后还有能量，就包括在里头。所以这个古印度的这个讲法也是其实也和科学是蛮通的，可以解释。So from this interpretation, I think these four great elements. I think elements is probably not the best translation, right? These are three states, and energy is another thing. So for Chinese doesn't have element, just for greatness. It's for greatness. This star is for greatness. So when translated into elements, I don't think it's correct. Anyway, so these four things can cover the physical world. So it's kind of interesting if we look at this way. 那这个中文我们讲四大，但是一般翻译成是 four elements 是元素啊。那其实不能讲是元素，你这个三态、固态、液态和气态，这个不是元素了。所以这个翻译成 elements， 我觉得是有问题。如果从中文的话，它是大是 for greatness， 也不是 elements， 习惯上它是 elements。但是我们从这个观点来看的话 ，element 并不是一个最恰当的翻译。So anyway, this is talking about the four greatness. 那这就是讲了四大，所以我们身体就是这个四大组合的。以我们有的身体的任何部分，它不是固体呢，就是液体，或是气体，那另外就是有能量，所以我们身体就是这四大合而成。So our body is made of solid, liquid, gas, plus energy, right? So it's composed of these four things. 那我们一般讲说，我们身体是四大合。那当你死掉的时候，四大就分散了，地归地，水归水，火归火，风归风。And we say that our body is a kind of combination of all these four things. And when we die, after we die, these four things just disperse. The solid becomes solid and go back to a solid state, but it can rotten. And liquid and gas and energy disappear. Okay. 就是讲的这个东西。那这边下面就讲说这个我们要念身中四大各自有名，四大各有各的名字 ，OK， 都无我者，没有一个地方叫做我。So the four elements, four greatness, all have names. Each one has its own name. None of them is the self. 这边上面就讲了，全身没有一个地方叫做我。So from head to toe, there's no place in your body is called the self. 那这边讲的就我讲的，你看看我们的全身呢，头有头的名字，脚有脚的名字，眼有眼的名字，耳朵有耳朵名字，耳朵叫耳朵的，鼻子叫鼻子，舌头叫舌头，嘴巴叫嘴巴，从头到脚每一个部位都有它的名字。So if you consider our body, you know, your head is called a head, your feet is called a feet, right? Your eyes called the eyes, and your ears called ears, nose called nose, tongue called nose, tongue called tongue, and mouth called mouth. So from head to toe, every part of your body has its own name. 那你身体哪个地方叫做我？没有一个地方叫做我，对不对？那么既然你这个没有人叫做我，那么为什么要执着这个我？为什么要把我看得这么重？把这个身体，这整个身体也没有一个我的名字，都无我。So you can't find self, right? And from head to toe, there is no place called self. So now why you want to attach to the self? You can't find it. Why is self so important? The entire body contains nothing called the self. 所以接下来就是说我既得无啊，其如幻耳。这篇上面就讲的是我了，我既然没有了，他不是讲过身体的，我都没有，你找不到我嘛？所以呢，这个身体就我觉得就有错误了。我是如幻如化，不是真实。你讲说我都没有了，那当然我是幻化的，不是真实的。你可以讲说身体是不真实的，因为身体也会化掉的。So the translation here, I think, 我记得the self does not exist, so it's like an illusion. And there's no self, so the body, says the master said, the body is like a transition, an illusion. I think this probably should be like the self is like an illusion because there's no self, right? There's anything real about it. 这边上人还是快要讲到，身体是虚幻无实的。从能观所观，能观就是你嘛，你能够观，所观就是那个身体东西。那这个你也是幻化的，那你看，那么观到东西也是幻化的，所以这个是如幻如化。这个我们就不多讲了，空假中，你就知道这个身体是虚幻不实的。So the contemplator and that being contemplated are both empty and false, and they are illusory. I think we're not going to go into this the three contemplation: emptiness, falseness, and middle way. So its conclusion is that the body is empty, false, and unreal. 们这个经文讲的，当念身中四大，各自有名。都我者，我即都无，其如幻呢？这边讲的是四大都各自有名，没有我，我都无了，其如幻呢？这边的一个解释，你可以讲说，它因为四大讲了四大各自有名，这应该讲的自己身里头每个部分都有名，都有名字，像头叫头，耳朵叫耳朵，你身中四大就是你身体头的各个器官都是四大合合的，所以是这样子。我们讲了四大，要讲的身体的各个部位都有它的名字，没有一个叫做我。那既然都没有叫做我呢，所以它是幻化的。那你这边什么是幻化的？你如果讲说身体是幻化的，也可以讲。那我也是幻化，因为你我不存在的，对不对？但是我们从这个题目来看的话，他讲推我本空了，讲说我是空的，并不是说我的身体是空的，身体当然也是空的，但是我自己自我是空的，所以我觉得这个翻译成 self 会比较是正确一点，因为我都没有了，所以你找不到我，所以我是空的。So this the talking about you're mindful of the four elements within the body. So each has a name. None of them is the self, called the self. I think what it means is that the four elements are the important is anything in the body, your every part is made of four elements, right? So I think the interpretation is talking about throughout your body from head to toe, every place has its own name. Just like the master talking about head, it's called the head, ear, it's called the ear, nose, it's called the nose, right? Your feet is called feet. So every part of your body has its name. But there is no place called the self. So self doesn't exist, right? And so that's why self doesn't exist. And that's why it's illusory. I think this will follow the title better, because the title says self. Right? Self is empty, it's not self. You could also interpret as the body is illusory, which is true as well. The body is not real. But I think that the title is talking about self, it's not talking about body. So that's why I think self is a better translation than in the body. Okay, I think so. This is. I think we'll probably stop here because this will be the next section. 那我们在这边先停下来。如果大家有问题的话，我next announcement first，用这个时间和大家宣布一下。Is Dr. Ye online? It's probably not, right? Starting Sunday, we're going to have a forum called Ancient Wisdom in Modern Life. 那从下礼拜开始，有一个论坛，古至今用， 古智就讲的佛的佛法，怎么把佛法应用到现在这个世界来。So the ancient wisdom is talking about Buddhism, Buddha, the Dharma, how to apply the Dharma in modern time. So there are 6 weeks, continue 6 weeks. Okay, these are the speakers and the title. 会有连续6周，下礼拜天是释法师开讲，就是给一个概论。这个海報把一些字都蓋住了，看不清楚。So next Sunday, the first to start, the Reverend Hensher will give the introduction. The second Sunday is Tommaso Kayin, and this is a doctor I don't know. He's talking about the psychoanalysis, Prajna psychoanalysis. 第2周是恒源法师和一位博士，要讲到是这个精神分析的问题。第3周是台湾的德家法师，谈这个生死奥秘。And the third week will be a nun from Taiwan. She's going to talk about the mystery of life and death. She'll speak in Mandarin, and so you're going to be a simultaneous translation into English. This is the exception. The other 5 will be English. Speaker will speak in English. 那第3周这个德家法师他会用华语来讲，其他5周的话都是英语发音，华语会同步翻译。德家法师大家如果看过那个回眸的那个的纪录片的话，这个德家法师是个很主要的人物，是个灵魂人物，他推动这个，在对这个病人、临死的病人、末期病人的怎么用佛法去帮助他们。And if you watch the documentary, I think it's translated to review. I don't think review is a good translation. It's Chinese means just looking back. Way more, you're looking back, turn around and look back. And she is the main character to push for this, to work on, to help the propagate Dharma, use Dharma to help the terminal patient. And the 4th week we'll be talking about the samsara. Is there any life after death? This will be Professor John Wu. 第4周会讲的那个轮回的问题。这个吴教授他最近出了一本书，他讲到那个轮回的例子。那接下来这个是陈玉教授，他会讲人工智慧方面。So the 5th week is going to talking about AI. It's Professor Yu Chen. I think people are familiar with her. 那最后就是释法师。Then finally the Reverend will come back, make a conclusion. Okay. Ends on November 6th. 那最后一周还是释法师回来做个结论。11月6号结束。So these are the forum, and we'll use the same link as every Sunday evening lecture. Same link. 那这个 room 的连接是一样的，这点完全和我们一般星期天的都是一样。那 YouTube 的连接每一周会不一样，这礼拜天的这个已经出来了，实话实讲。YouTube link will be different every week, every Sunday, and this coming Sunday, this link there. Okay. So that's pretty much what I want to say. People have any questions, comments? 有没有什么问题提出来讨论的？大家都没有问题吗？ Is the lecture too boring? 谈的内容比较枯燥，没有问题。如果没有问题的话，那我们就回向了。If there are no questions, we'll dedicate merit. Turn this in Chinese. 愿以此功德，庄严佛净土，上报四重恩，下济三途苦。若有见闻者，悉发菩提心，尽此一报身。同生喜乐国，because in respect to the Venerable Master, Amitabha.